This TikTok psychic is currently in denial that she completely ruined her life after essentially spending a whole year falsely accusing a University of Idaho professor of ending the lives of her students. And she did so in over 100 different TikToks and multiple different YouTube videos. Then when she was finally served a cease and desist to remove all this content, she said she would rather use that as toilet paper.
I'm about to put this demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my with it.
After that, she made multiple videos saying that she was excited for the lawsuit and she would finally get the opportunity to prove to the world that the professor did it.
I've been against people, vegan, small corporations, and giants, and systemic policies and racism, and won. They all regret coming against me. All of them. Now Rebecca is going to be added to that list of regretful people.
What proof, you may ask? Well, apparently tarot cards and her own spiritual intuition. Then on top of that, she was representing herself in court. So it's safe to say she's getting absolutely obliterated, and she's made a complete mockery out of the legal system and stolen an entire year from the professor's life. And is she sorry? Absolutely not. Because recently, Ashley decided to go onto a podcast by name of Swamp Rose, and here she essentially proved that she learned nothing and is in complete denial that she ruined her own life.
You've received some major backlash from some very large and powerful YouTubers. And could you please tell me and the audience how that negative coverage on YouTube has affected your life?
Well, it surprised me how people who've known me for years, all my life, family, friends, and also people who've gotten readings from me and seeing the accuracy of the readings, it surprises me how, and it's not just YouTubers, it's been the news media and it's been social media. It's been both. So it's like, you have the older generations who watch the news and seeing these things that are not true about me. And then you have the younger generation who's seeing things on social media. All of the lies being spread on different cultures. And it bothered me that people who know me, I felt like moved different. They started to act differently with me. So I'm like, okay, so you believe this stuff?
Believe what stuff? That you made up an elaborate story accusing a random professor in Idaho of having an affair, then ending the lives of multiple students due to this affair. And you did so in over 100 different TikTok videos and a full synopsis on YouTube. And the only proof you have is tarot cards. No wonder people are going, maybe I'll take a couple steps back from this woman, because no sane woman would ever do that.
Also, it's unbiased. It's like the disposition for everyone was that I was lying or implausible and that that she was just innocent. There was no question regarding whether or not I was telling the truth or not. It was an automatic disposition that I was lying, that she was innocent. So I just thought that was interesting that no one questioned her or no one even put themselves on the outside looking in or even made an unbiased attempt to say it could be true or not.
Because that's not how it works. You don't have proof. It's not the professor who's supposed to prove that she's innocent. It's you who needs to prove that she's guilty. With something a little bit more concrete than tarot cards and intuition.
So it wasn't an even playing. It was unfair coverage altogether on the news and also on YouTube. I didn't like that.
I don't think the professor liked her name being dragged through all this because you decided to do a tarot card reading on the university faculty website.
I know that the truth is going to come out, and when it does, don't try to switch up again. I just have a mental note of those who stood by me and those who did not.
She's throwing herself a complete pity party and taking zero accountability. She's basically lost this lawsuit and she still believes that she's correct. Meanwhile, the people who are interviewing her are like, you did such a great job. What?
It's so nice listening to you. You're clearly, lovely and intelligent and sincere. And, just so you know, I've read all of the legal documents, and it's obvious because you're pro se that you've really dug in, and now you're almost like a legal expert because the way that you're writing I'm a paralegal, so I'm saying the way that you've written your motions and everything is well done.
Do we read the same lawsuit? Like, she lost the lawsuit because she clearly doesn't understand how they work. She was super excited to go to court, but then she realized, oh no, I need a little bit more than just tarot cards and spiritual intuition to ruin an innocent person's life. So then she started saying the whole lawsuit's unfair. She's wasted a year of her own life trying to ruin another professor's life, and now she's about to have to pay for it. But I guess not before she gets some praise from this podcast by the name of Swamp Rose, because what planet are these people on to praise her?
And, for me, I'm not necessarily, I don't know the things that you know, and that Kiki knows more about spirituality and that kind of thing than I do. But what I do believe is that you're very sincere in your belief, and I respect that. And so, and I'm sorry that when you come out and you speak your truth and what you believe to be the truth, to get such backlash. And I don't condone that. I don't agree with it. And I think we live in a society where we all have different views and we're coming from different perspectives. And I don't think you can rule anything out.
So people should just be able to throw out wild accusations at others with zero proof and then get zero repercussions? What? The two women interviewing her are bending over backwards to try and be liked as much as possible by Ashley, and I don't understand why.
What made you feel like you were convicted in that reading?
Initially, when I did the readings, it was too easy. The answer was too easy. So I was like, okay, before I talk about this, because I'm also I don't like people being falsely accused, especially of murder. I've read a case before, or about a case before, where a guy was like for years abused and harassed and accused of a murder he didn't commit. And he ended up, I don't know if I can say the right words here, but he ended up unaliving himself. I don't play those type of games.
What do you mean? You literally went on a campaign to falsely accuse someone of exactly that.
When I did get the information regarding her role, I was like, this was too easy. Let me do the same thing I did for, I think it was like 10 people on the history department's page. So I started readings on all of them. And then I noticed that the readings that I was getting on her was very different than the readings I was getting on the other people. So it was consistent with that. And then, I asked questions, and then I asked them in a different way, or how was her relationship with this person? How was her relationship with this person? And I tried to ask different questions, or the same questions in different ways, to see if the readings match. So if I asked how was their relationship, and I asked what was her role in the murders, it has to align, because it makes spiritual sense, but it also has to make what I would say is logical sense as well.
Doing tarot card readings on a history department website of a university doesn't sound like a logical reason to falsely accuse someone of murder.
If I'm asking what her role is in the murders, and it says that she orchestrated it, well, then it should also be a reading saying why, and it should also be a reading that aligns saying what their relationship was and how it went wrong. It should also be a reading on how she was connected. Everything should align, and everything did align. So it wasn't necessarily, it was intuitive messages. Reading a book, normally you're just reading the words on a book. All of it aligned. So it wasn't necessarily like a strong feeling. It's just intuitive messages. And so reading a normal book, you're just reading the words. But in an intuitive reading, it's like reading in between the lines and trying to intuitively understand what the message is being sent to you, what message is being sent to me. So I just had to make sure by doing multiple readings that I'm reading it the right way, that I'm getting the right message. So after doing so many, it all made sense.
Okay. And again, this was strong enough evidence to waste 1 year of your life going after a random professor in Idaho, falsely accusing her as a murderer. But apparently she might not be done with this kind of content that got her sued in the first place.
I'm trying to see what I want to do, because I don't want this case to get me off my purpose or my path to purpose. I still, when I see true crime and things of that sort, these cases, and there was just this recent case with the Chief fans, I want to use my gifts. I want to find out what happened, and I want to talk about it. But it's like I felt underappreciated. So if I have an elite gift to offer and it's not being appreciated, it's almost like, yeah, I have a passion for it, but I don't want to use it. I don't want to use my gift while it's not being appreciated. It's like getting in a pigsty. I don't want to be in a sty with pigs and trying to teach them spirituality when it's a pig. It doesn't want to know. So it's just, I don't know. I'm just trying to get to a point where I can get back on my path to purpose without me feeling like people don't deserve it.
So it seems like she believes she's better than people who don't blindly believe her tarot card readings. Yeah, that sounds healthy and normal. It seems like she's in complete denial that this tarot card reader's side quest in her life has completely ruined it. But the interviewers just feed into it.
Hey, and I wanted I thought of something while you were talking about teaching pigs. My father had a saying I thought I'd share with you. He said, "You can try to teach a pig to sing, but it's not going to work, and you're just going to piss off the pig." So,
what? But at least someone finally asked her a good question.
You know, when you say the things that you say, and you get the reading results, do you consider that like fact or your personal opinion?
So I guess
you probably know why I'm asking that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from the perspective of me, I see it as, I don't want to use the word fact because I feel like fact is a legal word.
No, it's your truth. It's your truth.
Yes, I see it as true. Now, fact, I don't know if it can be considered a fact because the legal definition of it is more logical. Fact is, So, but truth, 100%, because people lie all the time. But a spirit does not lie.
Why is she fighting this case if she also recognizes this? Also, why is the interviewer just not letting her answer for herself? It's like she had anxiety, she asked a tough question and doesn't want Ashley to dislike her for it, so she tries to help her answer it. But this is apparently why Ashley never quit the lawsuit.
My guy say anything to me about all the legal troubles that I'm going through. Yes. So that takes me back to doing readings on myself. Now, when I initially continued to report on my TikTok, it did say that in the end, Schofield will lose her case. So I'm like, oh, she's going to lose her case. Initially, I'm thinking, is she going to lose the case? Is she going to be arrested for murder? But in retrospect, it was alluding to her losing this. She's going to lose the case. That was just predicted in the beginning. But my readings also predicted and said, going to be losing so bad or going through a troubled time that I'm going to wish that it was over. Now, my ego self was hoping that was talking about her. So when I did that reading, I'm like, she's going to be losing so bad, not me. In retrospect, because of everything that I'm going on in my life, it's like, okay, I get what it was saying about me going through a period of time where I'm troubled and going through ups and downs. Because my reading, even before this case, it was telling me I was going to go through a period where I'm a trying time. So yes, I was warned, and yes, I continue to do it because I don't know what else to do. If something is telling me that I'm essential to something, or if something is essentially a part of me, I don't know how else to behave. I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to stop. I just know to do what I purpose to do. That's all I know.
I think it's safe to say she has a very self-destructive intuition. But anyway, what's her game plan now?
I do see some changes coming. So hopefully those changes come soon. Still relying on the truth to be revealed. So hopefully more information comes out and, everything could be brought out to light. I think a lot of people will be surprised. But I really don't have anything more to say about it. I'm just letting time and trusting the process and letting it just happen as it's supposed to happen.
So her plan is to wait until the world finds out the professor actually did it? Okay, what a terrible plan. But as for the ongoing lawsuit, the professor is currently waiting for the court to grant the plaintiff's motion for partial summary judgment and hold Miss Gilliard liable for defamatory statements as a matter of law. In the lawsuit summary, it says the evidence conclusively establishes that Miss Gilliard's statements defame Professor Schofield. All that remains is for a jury to determine the amount of Professor Schofield's damages. But if you want the full story of everything that happened, I made an entire summary video of it here. You can check out here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.